Hello everyone. Hello everyone. I'm waiting for my IG live to come on. I am live on my YouTube channel. Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome to Life's Journey with Benedicta. Hello Victor_Ekene. I see you. Mama_Bomboy. I see you, Mama_Bomboy. You're gonna come on live and tell us what you think about this topic. Mama_Bomboy. Thank you for joining in. Damo Rain, thank you for joining in. So Mama_Bomboy, hi. Are you ready to join me? I would like to hear your take on this topic. Victor_Ekene, hello. Thank you for joining in. So if you're joining us for the very first time, this is Life's Journey with Benedicta. We usually come here every Saturday to talk about topical issues, to talk about life-changing situations and how we tend to deal with them. We listen to people tell us their stories. We also listen and read in the comment section how to handle situations like this. In life, we learn from our experiences, from other people's experiences, from our personal stories, and from listening to other people tell us their stories. And we try to deduce the best possible way to handle most of these situations, most of these challenges that we face every now and again. And on today's topic, I will be discussing if toxic relationships can be fixed. Toxic relationships, can they really be fixed? I have heard a lot of people criticize me in the past. I would say present continuous. Every now and again, I see one or two people from my past that will go, oh, you divorced. Was there no way you could have worked out your relationship? Was there no way that it could have been salvaged? And I put up this topic, and someone that is anonymous, like a faceless person, sent me a DM like 10 minutes ago saying if you know toxic relationships can be solved or can be salvaged, why didn't you save your previous marriage? Of course, it's an anonymous person. No need to answer that. The reason why I am doing this topic is that I want us to understand that, yes, indeed, toxic relationships can be salvaged, but there is a big if involved in this. There is a big if. Toxic relationships indeed can be salvaged if both parties are willing to work on the toxicity in their relationship. So that is why I say that there is a big if. It's not every toxic relationship that can be salvaged. And before we delve into why some toxic relationship can be salvaged and some can't, I would like us to understand that toxic relationship is a cycle that we find ourselves in that is detrimental, a cycle in a relationship that is detrimental to our well-being, is a negative cycle that keeps repeating itself in a relationship between a man and a woman that can destroy a person's mental, emotional, or psychological well-being. So if you find yourself in this kind of relationship that you feel is destroying your emotional state of mind, your mental state of mind, then you are in a toxic place. You are in a toxic relationship. So the topic for today is, if you find yourself in such a relationship, can it be salvaged? And the answer is, there is a big if. If both parties are willing to work on the toxicity, then maybe, just maybe, it can be salvaged. Because remember that there is no guarantee that trying to work on it might save the situation. There is no guarantee that seeing professional help might save the relationship. Sometimes professional help can salvage a toxic relationship. Sometimes both partners sitting down to identify what the problem really is and agreeing that they need to work on it and actually commence upon working on it can salvage a relationship. Now, I'm going to give you some tips on some of the things that you can do to salvage a toxic relationship. First things first, I always tell people, find out if, or rather try to understand if your toxicity can be reversed. If the toxicity in your relationship can be reversed. That is the first step. Because in every relationship, we have different levels of toxicity. That is why I said toxicity in relationships these days is ubiquitous. It is ubiquitous because it is ever present in today's lexicon. It is ever present in today's situation or in today's world. Almost every relationship has a certain level of toxicity. There is no relationship that is perfect. So it is left for both parties to see if they can resolve this toxicity together as partners, or they can resolve it individually. So the first step is asking yourself if this toxicity can be reversed. If it is not too far gone, and if it does not involve domestic violence, if it does not involve abusive treatment of each other, then it can be reversed. I don't want anybody to quote me or to think I'm saying that no matter how toxic a relationship is, then it can be reversed. Daddy Freeze, are you here? Hello, Daddy Freeze. If you're here, just wave. Okay. I thought Daddy Freeze. I thought I just saw Daddy Freeze in here. Okay, but I can't see him now. All right. So, if the toxicity does not involve violence, if it does not involve abusive treatment of each other, then it can be worked on. I say a big no to any relationship that is violent. If you're in a relationship and your partner is violent or abusive in any way, then that relationship needs an immediate intervention. That is not a relationship you say, I want to stay in and try to work on it. Nobody should stay in an abusive relationship trying to work on it. You are advised, or I am advising you to leave to a safe ground and then try to work on it from the privacy of wherever it is that you are. Do not stay in in an abusive relationship. In order to work things out, you might end up losing your life. You might end up losing a limb. So please, in an abusive, toxic relationship, leave. That is why I said that there are different levels of toxicity. The one that I found myself in my previous relationship was the kind of toxicity that had, and both of you should proceed to number 2, which is sitting down and trashing out the problems that you have discovered that you have in the relationship. it might be communication, it might be transparency, it might be destructive criticism of each other. Some people in a relationship do not know how to criticize each other in love. I always tell people, if you must criticize in your relationship, criticize with love. Criticism should not be condemnatory. You shouldn't condemn each other because you're trying to criticize. Then you are not criticizing out of love. You are not criticizing with the intent of bringing out the best in your partner. You are criticizing with the intention of making your partner feel like a lesser party or like a lesser partner in the relationship. So stage 2 is when you actually sit down with your partner after analyzing your relationship and believing that it is workable. If it is workable, now you proceed into working together to salvaging that relationship. That is why from the beginning of this show I said toxic relationship is redeemable if both parties are willing to work. There is a big if. Sitting down, talking about the issues you have, look out for the ABCDs in the relationship and try to stop yourself from doing those. Each time you feel you are about to go down the ABCD line, which is the accusations, the blame, the destructive criticism, and the incessant demanding of one thing or the other from your partner, you put yourself in check. Oh, I'm about to go down this ABCD line. I'm about to go down this line of accusation. Whenever there's a problem in a relationship, you're quick to accuse your partner. Oh, it is because you didn't do this. If only you had locked the door, the birds will not have come in. If only you locked the door, the raindrops wouldn't have come in. Oh, if only you did this, it was your fault. This didn't happen. It was your fault. She came late. It was your fault. Please stop going down that accusatory line. Those are the ABCDs of a toxic relationship. So if you sit down and you begin to see that you have a lot of this ABCD in your relationship, then you are in a toxic relationship. And it is about time for you to sit down with your partner and begin to see how you can trash them out. You're constantly accusing your partner, or your partner is constantly accusing you. You're constantly blaming your partner for one mishap or the other. You're constantly criticizing your partner without the intention of them changing. You're just criticizing them to make them feel bad about themselves. Or as a woman, you're constantly making demands of your partner, from your partner. Oh, I want you to be home every night before 7 p.m. I want your hair cut in a certain way. I need you to go for teeth polishing. I don't like the color of your teeth. Oh, I need my car tires to be changed every month. The demands are endless. This is a sign of a very toxic relationship. So if you're willing to work on your toxicity or on the toxicity in your relationship, you have to sit and start asking yourselves, do I have these ABCDs in my relationship? Do these ABCDs culminate what my relationship is all about? Remember, I said toxicity in this day and age is ubiquitous. It is prevalent in relationship these days. But we shouldn't make it a norm. It shouldn't be legalized. We shouldn't see it as the way to go. We shouldn't see it as the way a relationship should be. No. We owe it to ourselves to sit down and start analyzing how we can make our relationship work better. Address the ABCDs. Start using your voice a lot of people are walking on eggshells in relationships. You are too scared of letting your partner know how you feel about some certain things because you do not want to hurt her feelings, you do not want to hurt his feelings. These things at the end of the day is only going to make you bitter as a person. Because after a certain number of years, you begin to realize that you haven't been using your voice in your relationship. You have been walking on eggshells. You have been marginalized. Everything you seem to stand for, everything you love or you once loved, you can no longer do them, or you no longer see yourself doing them. You have let yourself go, and you have let your partner take monopoly of your life entirely. So after a period, you're going to become resentful of your partner. And it isn't fair because sometimes people don't even know when they make you uncomfortable because you are not using your voice. Always remember that you're not operating a glass head syndrome here. Your partner doesn't have a glass head. You also don't have a glass head. So there is no way for him to know when he is trespassing or when he's really pushing you to your wit's end, unless you open your mouth and use your voice. Your partner wouldn't know that you are walking on eggshells. So learn to use your voice. When you learn to use your voice in a toxic relationship, you can now start reversing the toxicity. And remember, I said this can only work with a big if. And that if is if both parties are willing to work together. In my previous relationship, I was the only one putting in all the work. I wanted the relationship to work. I put in all the work, but my ex wasn't interested. I was just doing all the work. And it took a long while for me to realize that it takes both parties to actually make a relationship work. So if you are the one putting in all the work and your partner isn't putting in all the work, sweetheart, that toxicity is going nowhere. Your relationship is headed for the rocks, and that is the reality of it. So the moment you open your eyes and you realize that this relationship, the toxicity is not going anywhere, I want you to work on the toxicity with an open mind, knowing that if it does not work, you will walk. If working on the toxicity in your relationship does not work, you will walk. That is the mindset I want you to have, because that was the mindset that I had in my previous relationship. Worked on it, worked on it, worked on it. It didn't work. I walked. Never be scared to get up and walk out of a toxic relationship that has no redemption. So that is also another step that you must take in ensuring that the toxicity goes away. If it doesn't go away, you walk away. Okay? So finding out if you have ABCDs in your relationship. If you do, then it's toxic. You have to start working on it. Learn to use your voice. Nobody has a glass head in a relationship. Your partner needs to know that he or she is making you walk on eggshells, and that is only going to lead to resentment in future. So that is also another point. And 4, start creating space in that relationship. Start making space for yourself. Define your own grounds, okay? State in the relationship the things that you can compromise and the things that you know that you cannot compromise. And table it before your partner and let him or her tell you what they can also compromise and what they can't compromise. So that way, you know that if this working on the relationship you guys are doing, that way you're going to know if it's going to work or if it's not going to work. Because at this point, you have come to the point in your relationship whereby you have to put all your cards on the table. You have to come out clean. You have to be completely honest with your partner in terms of the things you can tolerate, the things you can compromise, the things you cannot compromise. And if it isn't working, please walk. So that is the big if in salvaging a toxic relationship. There really is no 100% guarantee that a toxic relationship can be reversed. But have it at the back of your mind that it can, some can, and some can't. My previous relationship had no redemption, so I walked. So if someone out there is telling you you haven't tried hard enough, oh, every toxic relationship has a solution, oh, there is nothing in this world without a solution. Darling, there are some things in this life that has no solution. And there are certain things in life that we have no solution towards other than to accept it for what it is, deal with it for what it is, and walk away. So I hope I have answered some of the questions that some of my, I don't want to call them haters, have been asking me over the years. Why didn't you make your former marriage work? Oh, there's a solution for everything. You just didn't try hard enough. Sweetheart, it's not everything that you can solve. Not every problem in this world can be solved by you. Some can actually be salvaged by some other people, but it's not just you. And some problems are not just yours to solve. We have to understand the ones that are ours, that needs our attention, that need solution from us. And we have to understand the ones that we can do nothing about, accept them for what they really are, and walk away. Accepting defeat sometimes is a sign of strength. Accepting defeat sometimes is a sign of courage. Yes, some people don't just accept defeat, not because they can't see the clear writings on the wall, but because they are too scared of the uncertainties that await them in the future. So they keep holding to a failed situation. You know the situation is a failed one. You know the situation has no solution, but you're just holding on to it because you are afraid of what the future holds. So please, I want us to know today that not all relationships, not all toxic relationships are salvageable. Not all toxic relationships are redeemable. Look out for the ABCDs in the relationship. Find out if yours is on the level where it can be worked on. Find out if both parties are willing. Have you seen a relationship where both parties know that they are in a relationship and party A says, I want to work on this relationship, darling, I would like us to seek professional help. And partner 2 says, I am not interested. I don't want to work on this relationship. I am out. I am done. I don't want to be a part of this relationship anymore. So let them be, let them go. It is not compulsory that your partner will be willing to work on it with you. So let it go, please. Read the handwriting on the wall and know when to let it go. Know when to throw in the quit card and face your future. So that is it on today on this topic. If you have a previous experience, if you have a personal experience with a toxic relationship that was not redeemable and you'd like to talk about it, you can wave. I can invite you on my live if you'd like to talk about a toxic relationship that you have been in, or a toxic relationship that you know of that wasn't salvageable and you want to share your experience with us. You can wave your hands. And if you want to talk about a toxic relationship that you were in and with effort and constant work from both parties, you were able to salvage it. If you want to talk about it too, you can wave your hands. I can invite you in to come in and discuss. Okay? Paul Nwankwo joined. Paul Owankwo, let me try to see if I can invite you. Paul Owankwo, you can send me a request if you want to join, so I can invite you to come live and join. Paul Owankwo, you just waved. Send a request, then I can invite you to come in and join my live. Okay, Chinwe _ Rosie. So please, I couldn't invite him. For me to invite you, you'll have to actually send a request. Without you sending a request, I can't invite you to join. Victor _ Abby 32 says I should answer the person anonymously. Oh yes, I did answer the person anonymously, but seriously, this has been my life for the past how many years? Like 8, 9 years, 10 years. I still get this question all the time. Oh, why couldn't you work on your previous relationship? Oh, you didn't work hard enough. It could have worked. There is nothing. The common one I get is, there is nothing without a solution in this life. There is nothing. You just didn't work hard enough. Sweetheart, there are some situations that are not salvageable, and you're better off walking away. So if you find yourself in that situation, kindly walk away. So thank you for joining us on today's live journey with Benedicta. So if this is your first time joining us, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/Tastebudzng. It is a cook channel and life's journey with Benedicta series. So we have 2 different shows airing on this particular YouTube channel. So just in case you go to youtube.com/Tastebudzng and you see recipes for cakes, for soups, for sauces, and you're like, oh, I'm in the wrong place. You're not in the wrong place. On www.youtube.com/Tastebudzng, we have all of our previous episodes on Life's Journey with Benedicta, and we have loads of food recipes uploaded by Benedicta of Tastebudzng. So you are not in the wrong YouTube channel. That is the right YouTube channel. Subscribe and remember to hit the notification bell, so each time I have a new video upload, you will be notified. So thank you for joining in, and see you same time next week. To have a lovely, lovely weekend. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.